Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle, for those of you who are brand new around here, and I have a fun video for you today. We are getting ready to get the heck out of Dodge. It is very dreary here. It was dreary yesterday. It's gonna be dreary tomorrow. It's like an awkward, isn't really snowing, but it's raining and just gross. And we are ready for some beautiful sunshiny weather, so we are headed to Florida. So I'm gonna have a little bit of like a Florida vlog kind of thing at the end of this video, but the main purpose of this video is actually to kind of walk you through how we do some minimal packing when we go on vacation. So as keeper of the home, I'm also kind of keeper of the things when we go on trips. So that is something that I like to make sure that I am being as minimal as possible about. So for a family of 4, we are going to be taking 2 bags, 1 suitcase and 1 carry-on. That is it, aside from the diaper bag, because I don't really think of that as a carry-on. It's like that personal item, like a purse if I were to have a purse, but I don't bring a purse, I bring a diaper bag. So we are going to fit all of the things that we need for a week-and-a-half trip in just 1 suitcase, 1 carry-on bag. It makes our lives so much easier when we are traveling through the airport. We're not carrying a million things with us, as well as also making sure that we are not taking care of a ton of things while we are away. Even though we're going away for a week and a half, I do things like not pack a ton of extra clothing, all of that. I'm gonna walk you through that as I go through this video. So before I just continue to ramble, let's jump into this video and let me show you exactly how I minimally pack when we are going on a family vacation. You are my home, the light you share. So I wanted to start off by actually minimizing my diaper bag. I had quite a larger diaper bag for a while because there was a little bit of a crossover where both of my kids were in diapers. It was about a 6-month period where both boys were in diapers. So I had gotten a little bit of a larger, almost duffel style diaper bag to carry diapers in, because we use cloth diapers, so they can get really thick and bulky too. They take up a lot of space. So I had moved to this larger diaper bag, and now my oldest has been potty trained for nearly 6 months now, and I really needed to kind of downgrade into a smaller one, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity to do that, to downgrade to our smaller backpack style diaper bag. And then I got around to getting some laundry done because I wanted to make sure we had fresh, clean clothes for this trip. And a little side note, guys, this gadget here is probably my favorite thing we ever bought for our laundry room. I will try to find it and link it below. It's really great because you can just pull it out when you need it, and then when you're done with it, you can fold it up against the wall. Okay, so I'm getting ready to pack the suitcase now. I did all of our laundry yesterday. I did myself, my husband's, my kids, everybody's laundry is completely done so that I don't have to worry about that having dirty clothes sitting while we're away, but also we have plenty of fresh clothes for the trip. And I'm getting ready to put everything into the suitcase. This is our suitcase. It is my absolute favorite, and I would highly, highly recommend it. I don't know what this brand is. It's Ricardo. Here's the thing. We actually got this from my grandfather before he passed. He gave this to my husband, and we have been utilizing it ever since. It is my absolute favorite type of suitcase we've ever owned, and I'm going to show you why in just a moment. And then I'm going to be using this Vera Bradley bag. This is a tried and true favorite of mine. This duffel I got I want to say like maybe 12 or 13 years ago. She has been all over the world with me, and I don't mean that just kind of like ironically. Like, she has actually been all over the world with me when I've traveled, and she does so well. This is such a great item to have for airplane travel because it is so moldy and not moldy. Because it is so moldable and bendable, so it never has an issue going in an overhead compartment. If I truly need to, I can put it under the seat in front of us on the airplane, like under our feet. But we never have a problem getting on and off an airplane with it and having it, like I said, in the overhead compartment. So I am going to pack both of the boys up in this. Here's the thing. A part of packing minimally for us is that I have 2 little kids, which means they have little clothes. So everything for both boys will fit very lovely in here. And then Me and my husband both pack in this one suitcase. So we only have to pay for one luggage piece going on the airport. Like I said, we love to talk all about affordability on this channel. That is definitely one of my affordable hacks. And then the other thing is we don't have to pay for this at all for the boys because it's going to come as a carry-on for us. So let's get to packing. Now, I just mentioned that this was my favorite suitcase for a very particular reason, and this is why. Because it's essentially like two mini suitcases in one. So I usually put all of my clothes on this side. My husband puts all of his clothes on this side. It's very equal to each other, and we can usually get through an entire week's worth of clothes with having all of our items in just one compartment. So his in here, mine in here. It works really well. It wheels beautifully when we are traveling through the airport, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if I said this already, but this is not sponsored by them. I just really love this type of suitcase. It doesn't have to be this brand specific, but I will try to link a similar type of suitcase in my description if you're interested in finding something just like this, because it's my absolute favorite for minimal travel. So starting off with getting everything organized into my suitcase, I like to pick just a couple of outfits and put those together. For me particularly, I love dresses. We were going to Disney, so this is going to work really well. And then I could just pick about 6 dresses and throw them all in a bag, a couple of blouses to go with my jeans, and then I was kind of really organized and ready to go for the entire trip. Now, before we go on, I want to thank FitVille Shoes for partnering with me on today's video. These shoes are so incredibly comfortable. I was so glad when they reached out to me because I've been looking for a good walking shoe for a while now. And going to Florida, we were not just going to be at my family's house in Florida, we were also going to Disney World. And if you have been to Disney World, you know that there is a lot of walking. And these shoes came in clutch for the entire Disney vacation. It was so wonderful having a nice cushiony sole to them. They really absorb all of the shock of your steps as you are walking, and they have great style and design too. Both of these shoes were slip-ons, so I was grateful that they sent these to me. I was able to walk around in them for hours and hours, and I was incredibly comfortable the entire time. They went with all of my outfits. I love them. So if you're interested in a pair of FitVille shoes, I will have a discount code linked for you below. Thank you again, FitVille, for partnering with me on today's video. Once I got my section of the suitcase packed, I threw in the outfits that my husband had picked out for the week as well onto the opposite side. This is what I was saying earlier. It's perfect because it has 2 different sides and everything fits so lovely. The other thing that I really like to do, like I said, is I want to make sure that I have minimal outfits picked. And the way that I get through, we went on an 11-day trip. The way that I get through that is by making sure that there is a laundry service wherever I go. I think that people don't think about laundering their clothes enough when you go on vacation. So I do my best to make sure that we only have about 6 or 7 outfits per person for an 11-day trip. And then we were able to use my family's laundry machine, but I've been on Airbnb trips where we make sure that there is a laundry machine in the house. I do a lot of laundry when we are on vacation, and that helps me to make sure that we have enough clothes for the week, but I'm not overpacking an excessive amount of clothes. The other thing that I like to make sure that I do is I try to minimize my shoe packing as well. So I brought my very comfortable FitVille shoes. So I like to have a nice casual shoe with me, but then something that I could maybe dress up a little bit or maybe has a multifunctional use. So for me going to Florida, that was sandals. I have some nice sandals that can go with some really nice dresses, but also can be worn to the pool, to the beach. Everything is very multifunctional, and I like to stick the sandals or the flatter shoes into my suitcase, and then I put the bulkier shoes, which were my sneakers, my FitVille sneakers, on my feet to go through the airport. Makes everything super duper easy. And then you can kind of see I'm pulling things out and then I'm rethinking, hey, do we really need this? Hey, are we really going to use this? Honestly, packing for Florida in the wintertime was a little bit rough because I needed to have both shorts and short sleeve shirts, but also long sleeve shirts and jackets. So I had a little bit of everything, and I made sure that if I picked out 5 items of something that I only packed maybe 2 of them and put the other 3 back, knowing that sometimes you just don't need to have 12 pairs of shoes or 5 headbands. And I'm preaching to myself when I say that, but we got everything into just one suitcase, one carry-on, and we brought the stroller with us as well. Because again, we were going to be in Disney and we knew that we would need it walking through the parks. Now let's get into family vacation fun. This is my son at his golf lessons down in Florida. My parents live on a course, so we always love to get some golfing in when we are down there. And honestly, my son loves golfing. It is one of his favorite things to do. It is one of his favorite pastimes. So whenever we can get down to Florida and he can actually get a nice little golf lesson in, he thrives off of that. And I think driving the golf cart was just as exciting for him because he is really big into racing, into cars, into driving, all of that fun stuff. His favorite ride when we were in Disney was the Tomorrowland Speedway, so I was really excited that he got to do that several times. And then here's us doing mini golf, guys. Aside from being in Disney World, golf was probably the second biggest activity of the week. We really enjoyed that all as a family and had a good time. And even Lincoln got into a little bit of that fun. He is with my dad, just doing a little car racing, if you will. And what would Florida be if you weren't able to feed the gators? Of course, there was some gator feeding at this one mini golf course that we went to, and we had a lot of fun as a family, feeding some of the gators. So after a couple of days with my parents, we packed up their car and we drove up to Disney. Disney's about 3 hours from my parents' house, and we were so blessed that they allowed us to borrow their car. We stopped first in Disney Springs and got some amazing food. I was so grateful to have my FitVille shoes because, like I said, we were walking around the parks the entire time. We were there for about 4 days. The first day that we were there, like I said, we went to Disney Springs, and then we stay at the Swan and Dolphin Hotel every time we're up there. So we always like to hang out at the boardwalk, which is right next door to the Swan and Dolphin Hotel. So that's what we were doing for that day. Again, a lot of walking because even though everything feels like it's right next door to each other, it never is. It's such a long walk. You're spending miles and miles of walking the entire time that you're there, but it is so much fun. I loved the view out of our hotel room as the sun was setting. It was super gorgeous. And like I said, here we are on the boardwalk. We love walking the boardwalk. They have a great pizzeria there. If you've never been there, you can see the Epcot ball from the back side of it. There's this gorgeous little lawn area, and we like to take the kids there and let them run around. Honestly, the past few times we've been to Disney, this is the second time we brought our oldest. We love just letting him run around the little grass area here. It's just such a relaxing day. And we started our first day in the parks at Magic Kingdom. Of course, you have to start at Magic Kingdom. And we did all of the fun little street things like the bands, the parades, all of that fun stuff. Here's the thing, if you're gonna go with kids and little kids, you don't have to rush around and get to every single ride and be at everything. They're just excited for all of the little things. So we stopped and watched the Main Street, I think it's the Main Street Philharmonic, that's who's playing right now. They were so lovely, so talented. And my oldest absolutely loved, like I said, the Tomorrowland Speedway. He had such a blast. I think we rode this more than any other ride in the park. We went on it several times, and thankfully they always have a short line. So it was really good for him. He got to drive the car. He was in awe. And then we went and watched the parade, which was just so much fun. It's so magical to watch Disney through a little kid's eyes. I know people will say, why do you bring two little kids to the Disney park? They're never going to remember it. Well, I will tell you why. First, because I will always remember it. I will always remember the look on my kids' face as they go up and down on the Dumbo ride, as my son raced around on the Tomorrowland Speedway, and as he met Mickey for the very first time. All of those fun things, those are memories for me as well, but also technically, when we went on this trip, both of our boys were under 3. And if you don't know this, kids under 3 get into all of the parks for free. Not only that, when you do stuff like the character meet and greets and whatnot, like the eating, character dining, The kids eat for free as well. This was going to be the only time that as a family of 4, we were going to get in for just the price of 2. So we wanted to take advantage of that. We were so grateful that we did. And this little Moana walk through water situation that Epcot has was so much fun. The boys got a little nervous meeting the characters, but they had a lot of fun wandering around Epcot. It was the art festival, so they got to see a lot of art stuff, and they have a beautiful fireworks display there. We just had a really nice kind of more relaxing day. They had a park in Epcot, like a jungle gym park that I think we spent 2 hours at. My husband and I were commenting like, this is the most expensive park we've ever been to. But the joy on my kids' faces as they were being able to be a part of all of these things was just so lovely. It will be so memorable, and like the most joy in the world coming just from a balloon. I absolutely loved it. So we have some magical memories to always look back on. I want to thank FitVille again for partnering with me on today's video. Definitely check them out in the description below if you're interested in grabbing yourself a pair of shoes. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with you guys next week on another video. I can't wait to see you then. Have an amazing day, my friends. Bye.